All right, welcome back. So in this video, we are going to build out the Twitter header first. So let's go to the Twitter header project number 1. And so you can see here we have the source file, and I'm going to save that with the lock. I'm going to lock that layer so that you cannot move it, okay? Now, one thing I want you to do before we get started on this is we're going to click on this little button here, and we're going to close the tab group. And then I'm going to do it again here. And I want to open that up and close these as well so that we have more real estate to work with. Okay. So the first thing that we need to do with this is we need to bring in the image, which we have in our zip file. So if I go over here and I right click on that and I open with Adobe Photoshop, and I hit Control A, Control C, and then I go to the Twitter header project number 1, and I paste that in, we have our background, okay? And I'm going to bring that down a little bit. So if I hit Control T, then you can see exactly where the edge of the image is, okay? Now the other thing we can do is if we hit Control R, and we hide this layer, I can bring the ruler in and we can snap it to the grid to see where the top of the image is. Okay, so there we go. All right, so I'm going to turn this back on, turn that layer back on, and then we'll snap it right there. Okay, so now we have the background image. So I'm going to call this background image. Okay. All right. So for right now, I'm going to turn that layer off so that we can see this again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to alter what we did a little bit. This image right here, I actually don't have a physical file of this file here. So we're going to do a little photoshopping. So what I want you to do is unlock this layer right here. We're going to hit Control A, Control C, and then Control N. And we're going to click on Clipboard and Create. We're going to paste it in there, and then we're going to hit E. And we're going to go to the Magic Eraser tool. And we're going to click that. And let's see if I can do that. Nope. Okay. We're not going to do that. That isn't too bad, actually. And then what I want to do is use the marquee tool. So hit the letter M, and we're going to drag over the logo here. I'm going to hit Control C, and then we're going to bring it back in with Control V. And there you go. So we have a rough photoshopping of the logo. And the reason why I wanted to do that is to show you how to use the Magic Wand. Sorry, not Magic Wand, Magic Eraser tool. Okay. So if I turn off the source file and I bring this back on and I bring the logo up above, you can see that it's really close to what we had here. So hit Control S to save for me. And then let's go back here. And what we're going to do is we're going to clean up this part here so we can bring this over as well. Okay. So I'm going to do that right there. And then let's click here, here, and there. And then just zoom in for me a little bit, and we're going to erase that as well. Now I see a little dark, I see a little black right here. Okay, so I'm going to do that right there. That'll clean it up nicely. And then what we're going to do is we're going to erase this right there. Beautiful. Okay. Now what I want you to do is hit M with the marquee tool again. We're going to highlight online learning. I'm going to hit Control C. We're going to go to Twitter header, Control V, and then bring that over. Whoops. I think it's layer 2. Yep, it's layer 2. Okay. So hit Control T and then bring it over there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hold Shift and click on layer 1 and 2 and then right click and convert this. Actually, we're going to merge the layers. Okay, and then we're going to call this logo. Okay. And then let's turn on the original source. Okay. And let's lock that layer so it doesn't move. And then the logo, I'm going to hit Control T to see where we're at, and it looks pretty darn close. So we'll go with that. Now what we need to do is hit Control S to save. Now we're going to get this right here. So what we're going to do is I want to grab this right here. And this is something we can actually do without copying and pasting. We can actually just create the text. It may be a little bit different, the font, but that's okay. Because the idea is we're just practicing and learning graphic design. So let's type out tech. Okay, and then we're going to give this a bold. Okay, and then what I want you to do is hit the letter I. Okay, this is the eyedropper tool. And then what we're going to do is we're going to highlight the text, then do it. There we go. All right, I was like, where's my... So we'll go right over here and then change the color to blue. And then if I hit Control T, then we'll be able to see the text. And then if you hold Shift, that will skew it. If you don't hold Shift, then it will automatically adjust the aspect ratio to what we need. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this out like this. And let's do it like... let me see here. Let's shrink this down just a little bit. Okay, right there. That's fine. And what I'm going to do is we're going to put it down here. Just about right there. Hit Enter for me. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to copy this. So hold Alt. And then drag it over. And then I'm going to hit the letter T on my keyboard. And I'm going to go over here and click on this little arrow button here. And that'll switch it to white. And then what we're going to do is we're going to type out tutorials. So TUTORIALS. And then we'll shrink this down. So we're going to go to size 72 because that should take us pretty close to where we want to be. And then hit Control T so that way we have it selected, and then we can bring it over and we'll make it a little bit bigger. Right there. Okay. I'm going to hit Enter. I'm going to turn off the original source. And there you go. So it looks a little bit different than what we have in the source. But in fact, let's turn these off just so you can see. If we were to grab the ruler and then map it out that way, this is where the word tech is, right? And let me see here. What? Okay, that's weird. And then I'm going to bring this over here and then over there. Okay, right there. And then tutorials starts right here. Okay, and then it goes down to here. So again, it's not going to be exactly the same because of the font, but that's all right. As long as we're close and we're learning, that's all that matters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it to right there. And let me see one thing here. So tech is going to go right here, and then tutorials will line up there. So what I'll do is I'll do tutorials first, and I'll bring it over. Okay, so if we hit Control T to make sure we have it selected, then we can bring it over to line it up as best we can. And then I'll bring it up to here. Very nice. And then I'll turn on tech. Okay, and then let's hit Control. actually we can just do view and click on rulers, and then view and then grid. And actually it's not grid, it's guides. There we go. So we'll hide that. And so now if we hit Control S and save, we have our Twitter header. And it looks very nice and very close to the actual header that I use on my Twitter today. So I hope you found this project informative and helpful in learning about digital graphic design. In the next video, we're going to learn how to design a thumbnail for YouTube. All right, so thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.